We came so close to finally winning our first Super Bowl of the series, but we fell short against the Green Bay Packers 24-20. But we're not quite finished yet in the series. Today we have another offseason, and I'm coming into it with a slightly different approach than recent offseasons to try and get this team back to the Super Bowl to hopefully get the job done. Welcome back to the Texans franchise, everybody, where we are getting close to the end of this series. And I'd love, before it's all over, to have a Super Bowl championship, at least one, with this team. Now, it is very possible that we end this series without any titles. But we have a couple weeks until Madden 22 comes out. I'm hoping to wrap up this series before then. My Madden 20 Broncos franchise, that's 200 episodes deep right now. You can check that out on the main channel if you haven't already. I want to get it all wrapped up before 22. So how much can I get done in the next couple weeks to try to get us there? That's one question. And regardless, we're probably going to have to do a wrap-up stream, and then I'll make it into a video where we sim through a bunch of seasons so that these players can have their full careers finished. We're only 5 years into Shadon Roseman's career, and I think we'd all like to know how his story ends. And there are so many players, we like to see their numbers by the end of their career, and a wrap-up stream is how we took care of the end of the Buccaneers franchise. Not sure we'll get to the very end of franchise mode, which is 30 seasons, but that is the plan. Do as much as I can until a couple days before Madden comes out, which I don't even know what day that is because games these days have like 4 release dates. But whatever the earliest one is, I'd like to get done before that so I can move into doing 22 content and focus on it. I've had way too many Madden cycles where I'm still wrapping up stuff on other games. Don't want to do that this year. So here's the plan. This offseason, I'm focusing on volume when it comes to the draft. I want to make 10 to 12 selections today, hopefully. Not set in stone, but I'm going with a quantity approach today. The draft is tough, it's hard to get high development players, so I'm trying to draft as many intriguing prospects as I can that will give us a chance at higher development, and of course we'll have those rookie contracts that are so important now that we have one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the game. So there are going to be some players moving on, and likely a lot of rookies joining the team. I obviously want Alfonso Gresham to stay on this team. Now, if we can't get a deal done here, we're basically franchise tagging him, which means we can't tag and trade anybody else if we want to. So I will not be lowballing here. I will be taking this up. I think $19 million is fair. I don't want to just, give him a $22 million offer or something like that because I need to sign more players. I'm willing to go to 19 right now. And Gresham says no. Oh, that was not a good move. 1 year, $16 million, franchise tag applied. There should probably be some logic here so that players aren't declining offers that are better than a possible franchise tag. At the same time, we do want Quentin Nelson to come back, but there will be some change this year across the offensive line. But Quentin Nelson wants the test. All right, Stephon Ferris. 3 years, I'll up this to about 55.3. Come on. 3-year offer. Ferris resigns with the Texans. Jabari Carr, 11.1, probably. Just taking a look at the rest of these deals here. Lynn Cox, $8 million, maybe, because we have Gresham. I do want to see what's available in free agency. A big story of last season was that we got a bit worse in the secondary. We fixed that a bit by getting Alfonso Gresham, but I think we finally saw in the Super Bowl the cornerbacks get targeted a little bit more, and we couldn't slow down the quick passing game from Green Bay. So we'll see about Lynn Cox. I'm going to keep signing Nick Northrup because he was good that one preseason. as a backup tackle, I think he's solid. We'll let Paul Baxter test. We'll let Michael Arnett test. Elliot Dishman, yeah, we'll let him test as well. Might bring him back. Wes McKinney really has become a good punter for us. I'm not going to raise the offer, but he'll take that 2-year deal. Rashad Walker, we're going to let him go. Zach Jones, we're probably going to let him test as well. Dante Fry, we'll let him test. That's $10 million over 2 years. Jadarius Oliver, let him test. I want to see what's there in free agency. I will offer to Daryl Lehman. I just think he's a good edge rusher coming off the bench. That deal's done. David Perkins, not against him coming back, but these are just not deals that I need to make right this second. Antonio Werner hasn't had a huge role with us. 15 career catches. So I don't think I should be re-signing him right now. Maybe a 1-year deal. He comes back if there's no free agent interest. Same thing with Banyard. I'd love to see him come back, but I just don't think we have to rush into any of these deals here. And if we sign Carr, we'd still have $25 million, which just doesn't sound like a lot right now. I think we may have to let him test. Open to bringing him back, of course, but at least to have a bit more salary opened up for options in the offseason. I'm going to try something here I don't normally do, but we'll just offer him a very low salary. We'll increase the signing bonus to like 9. At that point, though, I might as well just give him the offer he wants. All right, we're going to make this deal because I forgot we are going to be moving on from Makai Becton today, and that's going to open up some salary. But he doesn't want that deal. The Makai Becton trade just hasn't worked out how I had hoped. He has not been an elite level tackle. And he allowed 5 sacks in these 2 playoff games here. He was awesome in the Raiders game. The whole offensive line was great. But I don't think that we can keep paying him this high salary. So he's going right to the trade block. Robert Penn is set to make $9 million this season. If we were to release him, it would free up 5 with a penalty of 4. So I'm going to put him on the trade block and see if anybody gives us an offer. That's a lot of money for a 31-year-old running back. We're looking to fix some of these offensive line holes then with players we've been developing. So the plan is for Gordon Ramsay to now play at right guard as Rashad Walker's moving on to a new team. Stephen Brown's going to play tackle. But now we have a whole left side to figure out if we're moving on from Becton and can't get Quentin Nelson to come back. I'm sure he has a ton of interested teams. Are we stuck in this Becton deal? Free 11.5 in cap, but incur a penalty of 10.3. I forget how trading really affects that in this game. But regardless, I think I would eat the money to get picks. Welcome to free agency, everybody. Here are the best available players. Justin Jefferson. Just curious about the ratings is all. He looks pretty good. A signing in this tier for tackle does make some sense. Just getting somebody in the low 80s or something, because 99 overall, Makai Becton was still getting beat all the time. We may have to sign somebody who has 1 low pass block rating, 1 high pass block rating. So are we more worried about pass block power or pass block finesse? Well, let's take a look at right ends around the league then and see, okay, if we sort by power moves, we have 399 overall players. We have a fair amount here in the 90s. And if we sort by finesse moves, I don't know, that seems about even. I'd have to count. I counted 15 players that have at least 85 power and 13 that have at least 85 finesse. Ronnie Stanley does have some interest right now. This would be around $10 million, so certainly not a very cheap solution here at tackle. And yeah, 26 teams interested in Quentin Nelson. Hey, Brendan McMullen's available. What do I do? You know, I might just give an offer to Leslie Good. He's been on the team forever. He has solid ratings, and this contract would be smaller than some of the others, but we'll see. We'll see. That's under $6 million right there. Now, I want to go to corner. No one's interested right now in Lynn Cox, and if you want to find a better corner, you're going to have to make a trade. He gets an 85-point offer here. We're going a bit low, but I think these are competitive enough to maybe get accepted. We'll give a small multi-year offer here to Dishman, see if that works at 72 points. We'll give a small one-year offer here to Banyard. I don't think all these will get accepted, but if just a few do, then we can go forward with the rest of our space and take a look at the draft. We're going to give an offer to Zach Jones again, and this is $2.5 million. And I think I'm going to give a big offer here to Quentin Nelson with what we have left in terms of cap space, 14.5. I'll be number one, but I can't go much over that. Like, I almost want to drop this a little bit, because, I mean, every little bit matters when you only have this much space. We're still in first. Can't count on winning all of these. I'd be shocked if that happened. But we've given out a lot of offers here. Let's move past this stage. Don't think I'll get any trade offers, but possibly. Let's see who's coming back. At least one player is, right? Dishman's back. Lynn Cox. Quentin Nelson rejected. Leslie Good is back. Now we're seeing 18 teams interested too in Jabari Carr. I could offer to him now because we lost out on Nelson. So here are some of the big signings from this first stage. Tristan Wirfs gets 14.6. Quentin Nelson 13.4, taking less to go to Buffalo. Justin Jefferson, 3 years, $46 million. Nick Bosa, is Joey still there? No, Joey Bosa is probably retired at this point, or close. Yup, he is no longer in our league. Alright, so I'm ready to pull off a trade here for Makai Becton. It just hasn't worked. Almost every team's going to have very high interest. What can we make happen here? Huge opportunity to get more picks. I need a team that has left tackle in their top needs. Do I want to help out Pittsburgh? No. Who else? How about Dallas? It's in their top 3 at least. I think I'm looking for a 1 and 23. I mean, that's not a super valuable first round pick, so it's not a premier 1. I think asking for the 1 is going to be reasonable. And we have a deal done. I think I'm okay with this here. Getting a first round pick, a 3rd, and a 4th from Dallas. That gives us some extra picks to move up or down the board as we need to, and gives us 10 selections so far in the upcoming draft. That was my first offer too. But now we are having 5 top 100 picks, 2 4s. That leaves us with 40.8 in cap space. We have 10.6 in penalties. So it didn't really give us extra money. It just gave us those picks that I want right now. So this is not a money-saving move at all. As a matter of fact, we're spending more because we had to sign another tackle to play left tackle. But I want the picks. Now the question is, what can we do with them? And maybe we can acquire even more. I think here, if we're trying to get volume, probably looking at, like, how good is the second round in this class? Can we afford to move down at all with one of these first round picks? And what are we even targeting? So, we don't have another running back on the roster yet. It's just Robert Penn right now. A young running back, I think, does make sense, and it's what helped my Browns rebuild, so that's always in my mind. We have some 7.1 and 7.2 combines. A combine that good, a top 3 that good, only 7th round talent? Really? DeJuan McCutcheon, 4th rounder, excellent top 3, 4.5, 40. I don't like going much slower than 4.5. Fastest running back in the class is Russ Mobley, running a 4.36. Late 2nd rounder. I do like the interior linemen in this class. We have 1st round talents projected outside of the 1st round. That seems like something to easily target with one of these 1st round picks. Ian Schmidt, early 1st. Philip Jenkins, early 1st. J.R. Richardson, mid 1st. And then Andy Jones was late 1. So that would take care of one guard spot. And then we have Gordon Ramsay in the other one. Leslie Good out to left tackle. Stephen Brown at right tackle. I don't care which side they play. But that would give us a starting 5. And then if we can add a guard, all we need then is running back addressed. And the offense is done for the offseason. Going to defense then, I think you look at linebacker, safety, and you remember that Jabari Carr isn't under contract. Can we fix that? I don't know that we can make a huge upgrade here at corner without making a trade now. I think we also have to look at 1st round corners in this class. Gabe Ellison, early 1st. Yeah, he's off the board, top 10. Kenny Whitfield, late 1st. This is a more realistic player for us to be targeting. He's a perfect scheme fit, great athlete, definitely a target, even at 5'9", 194, and 23 years old. Zach Theory, Combine's decent, 4.5 speed for a man cover corner, not a good scheme fit for us. Probably not targeting him unless he slides. And I scouted a lot of these corners already and did not find a ton else I loved. Here we go, scouting the 7 combine here of Chauncey Chambers, 5'9", 188. 4.3 speed, good awareness, slot corner archetype. See, this is what I want to do in this class. I want to be taking a bunch of players like Chambers who could have really good upside. Don't have to start right away, but you just have to attack team building differently when your quarterback's on the mega deal. Let's check out the trade block, by the way. It's actually interesting in this series because of what I've done regarding XP sliders. So you'll have like 83 overall running backs that teams don't want. It's made the trade block actually worth checking out, depending on what you're looking for. And I'm not really seeing a lot here. Maybe Rodney Riles from the Raiders? Yeah, he'd be a fit at strong safety. That'll be something to keep in mind. I don't have to make a trade right now. Let's go back to free agency. No reason to not give a big offer now to Jabari Carr. Where else is this money going? Also, no one's showing interest in Otis Woodyard. 6'4", 205. Ooh, I like these ratings. Man. 1 year, 11 is what it takes to be competitive. Can you somehow get him and Carr? That seems tough, but not impossible. We could withdraw this offer, and even this one for Banyard, too. Jabari Carr is a career Houston Texan. We don't want to see him go anywhere. That puts us in 11th? What does it take? All right, here's more money. 110 gets you into 1st place. Okay. And if I give a 1 year to Otis Woodyard. Now, I drop it here a little bit. We're still going to make it, like an 80-point offer. No, we're not. It's not with that. I want it to be 80 points. So if I reduce the salary, increase the bonus, 10.5. Now we're at 61. Where am I going with this? 82 points. That could be accepted. Jabari Carr's deal here. Can I bring it down a little bit? Like $400,000 does make a difference right now. Wow, 104 drops us there. So we're going to be just right above the best offer. We will see if those end up working. $1.7 million left if it does. Jabari Carr has always played for the Houston Texans, and in the 2032 season, Jabari Carr will be leaving. And Otis Woodyard accepted the one-year contract. So I tried to bring Carr back. The front four has finally been broken up. We lost Justin Johnson in that trade, so we didn't have the 5 deep defensive line. Now we're only 3 deep. And that was a good deal for Minnesota when it came to the receivers, but here with the front four, I don't know if 3 deep's enough. By the way, if you're not sure of that reference, that's when Randy Moss, Chris Carter, and Jake Reed were the Vikings receivers, but that was also 20 years ago, so some of you wouldn't get that. But what this does do is help out this secondary a little bit. We add a really good strong safety. He's 6'4", 205, 88 speed. He can cover, he can tackle. I mean, if no one else is going to show interest, I definitely will. And I can choose abilities here. Deep route knockout, strip specialist. I think you might want to go tackle supreme here, or unfakeable. So Jabari Carr is going to Kansas City, $12.2 million. I can't remember the value of what we ended up offering, but that's going to be weird to not have him on the field for us. He becomes their best overall player. And that's after 10 years in Houston. Playing some really good football in the last 5. All right, a 5th-year option here, Cassius Fowler. I think we all know the decision there. We pick that up, but I have no idea what it's even going to be worth. Let's guess. That's always fun. I'm going to say $8.5 million is my guess. Wow. $310,000 off. That's all. Now, we have some extra cap space with Jabari Carr not signing, so we should look at defensive tackles, of course. And then we'll see what is left. But we have a few options here. Jared Lewis, run stopper. His pass rushing isn't anything special. I don't think I would want to top Green Bay's offer. Tevin Hart, 88 strength, 91 power moves. I don't think he'd be a bad player to offer to at all. $6 million. Let's bring it down a little bit. I might need this space. I like making 80-point offers here. A team has finally shown interest here in Antonio Werner. I might have to just give him a 1-year offer, see what happens. By the way, where's Daniel Blue? Wow, that's not even close. Yeah, I think Werner's just gone then. Where's Daniel Blue? Interest from Atlanta. And then Banyard getting no interest. I'm back with a 1-year offer. 4.3 milli. I do like Dante Fry. He's not a bad depth corner. Getting some interest right now from Cleveland. But I just don't think we have the space. So with that, I think we're done in free agency. And we can focus mostly now on the draft. Always nice to find undrafted players that are actually draftable, especially mid-round picks. Here we go. Dontrell Stanford, 6.1 combine, 4.47. Solid combine and some press ability. I'm excited about this draft. Super deep at wide receiver, by the way. Not a need, but you also can't ignore like 20 really good receiver prospects. I just found another one. That stage is done. On to the next one. And 2 deals accepted. Frank Banyard is back. We also get Tevin Hart. And here's a look at the roster now. Good, Ramsey Wallace, Stephen Brown. Did I ever add another guard? I think the plan there was to draft. The 1-2 punch in the backfield. I want to add a rookie. Got receivers I like a lot. The offense doesn't need much. Defensively now, safety's looking stronger. Now, I think that it's possible this year. We have Tatum still play that 3rd down linebacker role. and you say, Adrian Payton, show us what you can do after these 2 years of development. He's gone up like 10 overall. I'm ready to play him. At corner, you still have Traylon Alexander, rookie from a year ago. Would love to have star Dev, but it's tough. And then Tevin Hart at least gives us an extra rusher here, but D-line depth should be a target. We have Wilbon, we have Russell here. Linebacker depth makes sense. Let's go out there, make like 10 picks, see if we can find some surprising talents. I might be trading down some of these picks because I'm finding enough undrafted players that I like. And if I can get a few 6s or 7s, I could potentially get them all. Alright, so we are done scouting, and I do have some running backs here that I like, but I'm not sure if they would get a ton of playing time as rookies. Maybe. At receiver, I don't see us drafting these players high, but it's just hard to imagine they all go there. So if they slide, I'm okay adding a 4th receiver. Only 2 targets here at tight end. For offensive line, it's mostly interior players, and that's a 1st-round target. For edge rusher, I didn't scout a lot of players there, mostly early talents. For D tackle, a lot of early players. Again, I didn't anticipate this being a major need. And then at linebacker, there are a few. We have some value options as well. And for corner, that could be an early target, but it does not have to. By the way, Antonio Werner did take this 3-year deal with the Dolphins. Not bad. Daniel Blue. Whoa, we got even more going to Atlanta. Dante Fry, $6 million a year. That's not bad. More than we could afford this season. Zach Jones, $15 million over 3 years going to Seattle. That's not a bad deal. And Rashad Walker, $16 million over 2 years to go to Miami. Seeing a lot more players leave than we typically do in this series. And we're underway in the NFL draft. Our first pick is at 23. Perhaps I'd be willing to move up at some point, because I don't think corner is necessarily something we have to address. I like Kenny Whitfield. I think I'd take him later. And then Gabe Ellison, it would take him falling, and I just don't know that he's going to fall far enough. He is the number 8 prospect, though, so it's not out of the question. Daniel Bost, number 1 receiver off the board first. Eric Kershaw, number 1 edge rusher. Denzel Babber, left tackle. George Knox, right outside linebacker. Gabe Ellison goes 5 to San Francisco. Derek Walters. Landry Leach, 69 overall guard in the top 10, and then Andy Jones. Connor Roper, a quarterback going early again this year. Tyquan Bird, John Franklin, Todd Moore, Kenny Whitfield. Off the board here at 13. Whoa. That is a lot earlier than I thought he would go. Thurman Callaway, early 1st-round talent at D tackle. He might be a target now. Early 1st run stopper. What else could we do here? JC Overstreet? Like all of a sudden a 1st-round linebacker might be an option. Kevon Waller, late 1st talent at D tackle. Marco Mason, one of the top tight ends. Mike Ramsey. Addison Allen, Marco Sharp, a lot of receivers here. Our next pick is coming up. Justin Bonds, Levi Madden, Zach Theory, 75. Austin O'Neill, and now our rivals in Indianapolis take Jeff Biddle, and we are on the clock. The offensive linemen are all graded outside of the 1st round, so 31st overall seems very easy to get one of them. Ian Schmidt, early 1st. Philip Jenkins, early 1st. J.R. Richardson, late 1st. Let's see here. We have really good top threes. We have really good combines. 31 reps. 32 reps is better. Schmidt is 22. Jenkins 23. So I think they're both great options. But here at this spot, I do think we could look at taking Thurman Callaway. Early first round talent. He's a run stopper, but what I love here is that he's a run stopper with skills that would also help in pass rushing. I mean, he runs a 4.8, great 3-cone, great shuttle time. Maybe the pass rushing needs development, but I think he's the perfect pick here. A ton of upside. Callaway normal dev, 4th in true talent. 92 strength, 76 power, so it's not even low. Yeah, I think definitely he's got a chance to make an impact on this team. All right, now we see how it falls, going to 31. And I suppose I could consider trading back from there as Overstreet is off the board. And we're back on the clock. Falling to 38 is not bad. To get a 4 this year, a 5 next year. 37 for a 4 and a 6 both this season. That's only 6 spots. Now you do lose the 5th year option here, but I'm not sure I'm making it 5 more years in this series. Early first, mid 2, it is a little bit of a risk there, but because I have 2 options, and they're very even prospects on our board, let's trade back. There's no way both go. We'll trade with San Francisco and get that 37th pick. It is in this year's draft, plus that 4. Thank you for doing business, as the San Francisco 49ers take Kevon Waller. Sidney Hall, Cortez Howard, Terrell Samuels, Ian Schmidt off the board. We have to make it one more pick, and we made it. So the Saints make our selection for us. I'm okay with that. I really could not pick between the two. Philip Jenkins from TCU. Normal development. We'll, of course, check on Ian Schmidt, see if we messed that up. But we just got the number 4 player in true talent, number 1 player in true talent. So, what else can I do? Now we hope that there's enough value throughout this draft to justify having all of these picks. And actually, what might be a better idea is to take these mid-round picks and either turn them into higher picks or lower picks. So what else could I do in the 2nd round? Doesn't look like my targets are going anytime soon. Marshall Bernard, early first talent, only runs a 4.6. But a lot to work with here. Russ Mobley, a running back out of South Dakota State. He's got the speed. Yeah, I think I want to move up now here in the 2nd, most likely. We'll let this go a few picks before we look at moving up. Going to be a lot of movement, I think, in this draft. All right, Russ Mobley just went to Kansas City. This might be a good spot here with Denver. We give up one of those 4th round picks to move up in the 2nd round. 14 selections. Still holding on to those 3rd round picks. I like taking Marshall Bernard here. More safety depth. And Bernard has hidden development. So, a player we probably wouldn't have come away with if we didn't have all this draft movement. There's the first hidden dev player of the day. Hopefully not the last. Now the number 9 player in true talent. And his speed isn't great. I think you move him to strong safety. You develop him there. Next year takes over for Otis Woodyard. And possibly this year, he competes with Adrian Payton at free safety when Tatum goes to linebacker. Michael Wilkinson's going to the Colts. So the running backs that I had targeted are probably all gone or close. I still have a couple later round picks that I can make here, so not necessarily done with that fun position. 2 3s, 2 4s, 2 6s, 1 5, 1 7 is what we have left. The Jets don't like the complexity of my pick swapping here, so this unfortunately won't work. Oh, come on. I don't want to trade with you just because of that now. You're being cheap. All right. Didn't take who I wanted. Move past this pick. I like the Giants better anyway. And we've moved up with the New York Giants with a 5th and a 6th round pick. So giving up some of that later value. Might still get more of it back though. But I wanted to move up here in the 3rd round because there was a specific player I wanted. And it's going to be offensive tackle Greg Bailey. Now I know Courtney Jones is the BPA. But I like our receiver depth, and there's so many more in this class. I don't need the best receiver right now. How many tackles are there? That answers the question, I think. Greg Bailey, 70 overall, normal dev tackle. Might be an upgrade over like Nick Northrup, and just having that depth there I think will be nice. So now we have a 3, 2 4s, a 6, and a 7. I think you take one of those 4s and you move back. But what to do now? What to target in the 3rd round with all these receivers? Still a 1st round talent at D tackle. Probably just going to sim to our next pick. I do like a few players available, but I don't want to give up more right now. We're so close to our next pick. And the Chiefs aren't ahead of us. They're a team that worries me. Wow, he's still there. Okay. I am just fine now selecting Courtney Jones, the deep threat from LSU. Welcome to Houston, 75 overall normal development. Not getting lucky with the developments, but we're getting some really intriguing players here. 75. What was Werner when he left? 79? Yeah, you can definitely develop him into the 80s, no problem. I like the draft class. What do you think? Hopefully can finish it with some more strong selections. Would love at least 2 hidden dev players. I think that's kind of my goal every class, is to get 2. Sometimes we don't get any. I think here is one of my only chances to still address running back in this class. So we have JT Craig and DeJuan McCutcheon. Very different running backs. Craig's a power back, McCutcheon an elusive back with 4.5 speed. Is that enough? Craig runs the same 40-yard dash. Although McCutcheon's faster because he's going to have better acceleration. So slight edge in that department to McCutcheon. I think here you go McCutcheon. There's just a better chance that he can also catch the football well. Power backs usually have low catching ratings. Not always, but he's got break tackle in his top 3. A- vision. DeJuan McCutcheon is the pick. Normal dev. First reach of the day. 91 speed, 82 break tackle. I think he's taking Paul Baxter's number and his role. So, not much changing there. A little bit of receiving ability too. Can he return kicks? Does it show kick return 85? Cool. No! Come on! Chauncey Chambers to the Raiders. Well, can't get them all. Maybe you should have taken Chambers there though over McCutcheon. I already know I want to trade down from this one. I want like 3 2032 picks. Is that too much to ask for? No one's giving me that offer. I'm willing to trade with any team, but I would like to receive multiple 7th round picks. Does anybody actually have multiple 7th rounders? Not a single team. These teams are boring. All right, I want multiple 6th rounders. I know at least one had multiple. All right, we got a deal done again with the New York Giants. I like this team right now. Giving up a 4 and a 6 next year to get 2 6s and a 7 all this year. I'm trying to pile all these picks into this draft. This has to be my personal record for like trading in a draft. I have moved up a couple times. I have moved back a couple times. But I think I'm accomplishing exactly what I wanted to get done. Back on the clock here in the 6th round, and we still are going to have 5 picks to make. And 6 players are on the board. 3 of them are undrafted talents. I don't think I'm taking Jonathan McLaughlin. So, here in the 6th, BPA, Manny Givens, or actually Julius Richards, but they're probably going later, or they would go undrafted. So I think here we go with Ben Young, wide receiver, also from LSU, keeping those teammates together. Normal dev at 67, also a deep threat, but I don't think you develop him into a deep threat. Only 89 speed, 68 deep route running. You just develop him into a George Ingram backup is all. All right, then we go to Justin Frost, the linebacker from Liberty. Pass coverage archetype, excellent speed. This is what we do instead of re-signing for Zach Jones, who got $5 million a season. Justin Frost, normal dev, 88 speed though, 71 awareness, 61 zone coverage. That is his archetype. It's actually higher than run stopping. It's even. But he's got the athleticism to develop into a coverage linebacker. 3 picks to make, 3 players on the board. I'm not drafting by BPA because I've already drafted 2 receivers and a linebacker, so I'm taking Brian Barkley here in the 6th round out of Minnesota. And Barkley, 153 in true talent. He's 6'2", 92 speed. Not bad. Gotta develop the coverage, of course, but good place to start. Now we're going to take Manny Givens. He's a run stopper. Runs a 4.72 40. He's a 67 overall, 84 speed, 71 block shed. Not great in coverage, but a good backup for Montrell Russell. And pick 31 in the 7th round. We can take Julius Richards, our 3rd receiver of the day, knowing he might go on the practice squad, or one of these receivers probably would. I don't think I'm going to do better, though, than a 3rd round talent, so we're just going to take him and hope for good development. Didn't get it, but a good pick nonetheless. 92 speed, 79 short route running. I like a lot of these skill sets. Unfortunately, my approach of going with a ton of picks to hopefully get lucky with development only got us 1, but it will allow us to fill out the bottom of the roster and not have to spend a lot of money doing so. So how many players in this class? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. My goal at the beginning of the day was to make 10 to 12 selections, and we did. Split the difference there. We take 11, and we got tremendous value throughout this draft. We picked up 5 players with at least 70 overall, 4 of them at least 75, and 1 player had hidden dev, that is Marshall Bernard. That is a perfectly executed plan. I'm pretty happy with it. Doesn't mean, though, that I couldn't have done better potentially. I was picking between 2 centers and decided I'd rather trade down, get extra picks, and let the Saints basically pick who we were going to take. Did they get the better center a few picks before us? Ian Schmidt, hidden development, come on! No! That's not fair, but even if I had the pick of both, I was having an issue deciding which one. I don't know who I would have taken. I really don't. Overall, though, that was a really fun offseason. I enjoyed it. Outside of that last part. Oh yeah, I was interested in JC Overstreet. Hidden development. Oh, come on. Why? 1 pick before we took Bernard, our only hidden dev player, though. Oh, come on! I was picking between 2 tackles, and I just said, okay, I'll take the one who goes second. Nick Dorsey, hidden development. Why? If Chauncey Chambers has hidden development, I'm ending the video right here. Okay. Normal development. Really liked him. JT Craig. Normal development. 1 second, I just saw that Jose Barrios was traded. Live reaction here. Jose Barrios. They get Austin Martin, Simeon Woods Richardson from Toronto. Oh, he's going to the Blue Jays. That's pretty cool. I don't know anything about these prospects anyway. What am I going to react to? Blue Jays gave up their number 2 and number 4 prospects. That's got to feel like a nice win right there. Okay. and pretty early ETAs as well for joining the big leagues. If the Twins trade Byron Buxton, though, I'm not going to be very happy. You do not trade Byron Buxton. Give him whatever he wants. Anyway, back to the Texans here. What do we think? After an offseason with all kinds of movement, we're going to pick up a couple players here in free agency to fill out the roster. Just some guard depth here. Carter Sabin. And we're going to sign just a good all-around linebacker. This is Jake LeClaire. I'm also going to add some more running back depth here and a speedy running back, veteran Michael Wheeler. All right, we're getting through preseason as well. We lose the first game. Tua is the new quarterback in Atlanta, or he's the backup to Rick Young. I actually don't know who's starting. Dishman, a touchdown and an interception. Frank Banyard, 12 for 51. Daniel Blue, 5 for 24 against his former team. That's pretty efficient. 7 for 27 and 1 for Robert Penn. Not much here for receiving, but Banyard does catch a touchdown. Daniel Blue just one catch. O-line, 1 sack allowed for Greg Bailey. 2 sacks for Tevin Hart. Welcome to the team. Stephen Bolden, Stephon Ferris. Here we go. Randy Wallace helping out Philip Jenkins. Mentorship. That's what I'm talking about. Pass blocking, by the way. That is the focus. And this one. But let's take a look at this injury report now. One new injury, Traylon Alexander. He'll be back for maybe the second game of the year. Randy Wallace is impressed with Philip Jenkins, and now his awareness is going up. That's a really nice boost to get there. And wide receiver mentorship, Amari Jones. He likes Courtney Jones. I think we just look at getting open, and let's pick short routes. +2 release and +2 short route running. Already getting to upgrade Marshall Bernard. He's playing a lot. He's getting the focus training here. Oh, it made him a focus player for this week because Alexander's hurt. And I think that took him out of being a focus player. Regardless, I think we're just going to go with zone for the first couple upgrades, and then we'll do some run defense. We only had one preseason injury. It was to Traylon Alexander, and we just had a 42-point win. Or we scored 42 points in the win. I'm concerned about the offensive line this year, if the running game is going to be weaker, if we allow more sacks, but only 6 allowed here in the preseason. Dishman, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks. Roseman, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Frank Banyard, 4.3 a carry, and just 3.4 for Robert Penn. We'll see if he's still able to play at a decent level after all the regression suffered after last year. Michael Wheeler, 8 for 25, and the touchdown. DeJuan McCutcheon had 3 carries. George Ingram, not bad, but perhaps our preseason superstar is Courtney Jones. Got that mentorship boost from Amari Jones. It only came up once, by the way. I didn't see it show anything after his next performance, but really solid ratings here. He's only the 5th receiver at the moment, but definitely has a lot of upside. Not much else here for receiving standouts, unfortunately. Blocking, not many sacks allowed. I gotta say I'm pretty happy with that. And for sacks, Tevin Hart, 2.5. Same for Keegan Geralt. 2 for Hillhouse, 2 for Ferris. And no interceptions. That's not cool. Interesting here, it's just a few simulated returns, but Sears did have a better average than anybody else, and he also had 3 punt returns for 44 yards. Let's make Paul Sears the returner. I normally just play backups at returner because I don't want to risk injury, but he's the 3rd receiver, and this gets him a bit more playing time. And he's really fast. Dre Tatum, welcome to the 99 overall club. 3-man coverage. Only 25 years old. He is a star. Here's his career to this point, by the way. Originally, we made him a second-round pick. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler. He's led the league in interceptions once. He was named Best Defensive Back last year, Defensive Player of the Year. He's also been a Defensive Rookie of the Year. A lot accomplished here in 5 seasons. We will not be keeping Nick Northrup on the team. We have more tackle depth now, so he is one of our final cuts. All right, here are the final moves that we made here to prepare for the 2032 season. The plan going forward is basically going to be to sim full seasons at a time, and there's really not much point in watching anything that's not a playoff game. And I don't think we should even watch wildcard games. So I think if we sim next episode, get all the way through the season, into the wild card round. If we make it to the second round, I think that we would watch the run from the divisional round. And if it doesn't go our way, then we can easily get back into a new season and keep trying. Really want to get this team a title. We've gotten so close. Now we'll see how good this team is after, definitely downgrading along the O-line. And we have no players above normal dev, unfortunately. But we got the playmakers, we got the quarterback. I like where the defense is, but now we no longer have Jabari Carr. What does that mean? We'll find out next episode. Leave your thoughts below in the comments, everybody, and thank you for watching the video. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel and let me know down below what do you think. Have a great day. See you next time.